Hey, sister, welcome to the first episode of the Recruitment Takeover mini-series on the Your Sorority Journey podcast. We are so excited to dive deep with you on specific recruitment-related topics, starting with what I think is the most important foundation for us to lay as we build with whatever any other topic or critical area of the recruitment experience. After living through a year and a half of social distancing, a virtual environment, whether you have been in college through this or you are leaving high school, our world has been shaped. I want you to think about the last social interaction you had. Maybe now we're in the middle of July, you're getting a little more comfortable being around large groups of people, being vaccinated, being around people who are vaccinated. There is still a lag, for me personally, even in my level of social capacity than where I was at in February or early March of 2020, right? I used to pack my days, especially in college, from meetings to classes to extracurriculars to hang out with friends to dinners with my mentor, whatever. I had full days. Moving all of that virtually surely will have changed the way that we are able to socialize and connect with one another. One of the biggest pain points that I have heard from specifically women organizing recruitment is not having anyone who's recruited in person before. Can you relate to that? Are you a little stressed that no one in your chapter has recruited in person before? Or maybe you have never recruited in person before, or you are that recruiter who is one of the handful of women in your chapter who has recruited before. I know that there is so much stress and anxiety around formal recruitment this fall because we have just left an unprecedented year, right? We are exiting a really unusual, hopefully unrepeated experience where we all left our sense of normalcy to confine to the safety of our homes in an effort to have the least amount of people possible in our country be diagnosed with COVID-19. Now that we are entering this new season of safety and comfort around being one another again, I think it's also presenting new challenges, right? Because in the same way that there was an adjustment period that went into needing to learn how to do everything from the comfort of our homes, work out, go to school, have relationships, eat, right? Like nothing was happening outside of the comfort of our homes. We are having to do that same adjustment back into society. For any of you who've flown on an airplane before, you know that it's not the same, right? We're still wearing masks. We aren't having as many snack options. It's not as simple as it used to be. Maybe those of you who are going grocery shopping or going out to dinner are feeling those, I don't know, pain points of, okay, do I wear my mask? Do I not? In that same way that every single person is adjusting differently, we have to remember that every single person who we meet and interact with in the recruitment process is adjusting back differently. It is so easy for us to get caught up believing that we are the only one who's been affected by this. We are the only one who it's taking us a long time to catch up, when in all reality, you are not alone. And so there are three things that I want to encourage you with, whether you are going through recruitment as a potential new member, or you are recruiting or supporting PNMs as a recruitment counselor. My first tip is, as we are acclimating to being social again, extend grace. Extend grace first to yourself, knowing that your bandwidth has changed. And it might take some time, I don't know, through some challenging experiences to understand that, okay, it's all right to be around people again. And it might take some building up to actually be able to sustain that kind of experience again. Recruitment this year might not be as seamless as it was 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, we might have been a little bit more comfortable around large groups of people than we will be this fall. So extend yourself grace. And the other part of that is extend others grace. If you are a recruiter and you're recruiting a PNM who seems uncomfortable or disinterested or overwhelmed, know that it might have less to do about your chapter and it might have more to do about this wildly unusual environment that she has found herself back in again, right? Being around all these people and reacclimating to social environments might be hard for her. Give her grace. Ask her if she's doing okay. See if you can help her. As a potential new member, extend your peers grace, right? Some of them might be a little bit more overwhelmed than you are, might need a cup of coffee or some quiet time alone. They aren't disinterested in getting to know you, they just need some space. Second, be honest with your threshold. Be honest with your recruitment group leader, with your vice president of recruitment, with your recruitment counselor, depending on who you are. If you're a recruitment counselor, be honest with your recruitment counselor partners and say, hey, like I'm starting to feel like I found my bandwidth. Can you help me out? If you're a PNM, fight for your mental health throughout this process. If you are overstimulated or you have found your social capacity, maybe take a step back, find opportunities for you to reset. Don't feel the fear of missing out, right? Don't feel the FOMO of not being at every single thing for those things that are optional for you to be a part of. And instead, remove yourself from situations that you are feeling your bandwidth extended. And finally, I said this earlier, but I want to say it again. I want you to know that you're not alone. You aren't the only one who's having a hard time navigating this transition, this adjustment back to our old normal. And as we'll talk about at the end of the series, I don't know if that's the goal. I don't know if going back to the way things were pre-COVID is the right aspiration to have. So stick around throughout the series to hear our thoughts on that. But know that you aren't alone as you are reacclimating to socializing, and it's okay to set boundaries that advocate for your mental health, for your needs in this process. We are so excited to get this series started with you and hope that you'll stick around. Hope that you'll tell your friends as we help you get recruitment ready.